In this video, we will see how we can make changes in the settings of the OBS software for recording lectures. The various settings of OBS software can be changed by clicking on the File menu, clicking on the Settings option. In the left navigation bar, you can see that we can change several settings like General, Stream, Output, Audio, Video, Hotkeys, and Advanced. In this video, we will focus on only those settings which are required for facilitating creation of our video lectures. In the General menu, you can see that you can change your language settings. You can also change the theme of your background. So you can choose whichever theme you like. You can do several other settings if you want so. In the streaming option, you can see that we have to first select the streaming service on which we will be streaming our videos. Say we can select YouTube and then provide the streaming key and click on Apply. In the output settings, there are two types of settings. One is for the streaming output and one is for the recording. For recording our lectures, the most important setting is to choose the recording path. By default, whenever we record any video in OBS, it is stored in the videos folder. We can change this folder by clicking on the Browse button and choosing the folder where we wish to save our videos. The other settings are related to the quality and format for recording. You can also make changes in the audio settings like the sample rate or the channels. The various video settings like the resolution, frames per second can also be changed using the video settings. If you are not a tech-savvy person and are not aware of the various audio and video settings, you can leave them to default. In the hotkeys setting, we can choose different keys that we may use for controlling the recording of our lectures. For example, we may choose a key that we will be using for starting our recording. Say I can use the up arrow key for starting the recording and the down arrow key for stopping the recording of my lectures. If we choose these keys for starting and stopping our recording, then we do not need to click on these buttons while recording our lectures. Similarly, we can choose certain keys for performing other operations, like for moving the image slideshow to the next slide, we can choose some keys like I can choose the right arrow key for going to the next slide and the left arrow key for going to the previous slide. After making changes in the hotkeys options, I just click on Apply and OK. So the most important setting for recording our lectures is to change the output folder, that is the recording path where our videos will be recorded, and making some changes in the hotkeys which may facilitate recording of our lectures. Rest all audio video settings can be left as default if you do not know how these settings work. We can also change the properties of the various input sources that we want to use in our videos. For example, in the text box, we have several properties that we can change by clicking on the Properties button. We can change the font, the size, we can also write all the text in say uppercase. We can choose a color for the text. We can also provide an outline to the text. So I can select a color for outlining. and click on OK. We can also change certain filters. To add filters, I can click on the plus button. For example, I can make this text appear as a Mercury by clicking on the scroll filter. Then I can change the speed. So this speed indicates the speed at which it will be moving the text. So now you can see that this text is moving. We can also change the font by clicking on select font from here also. So like this, we can make changes to the settings of any of the input sources by clicking on the properties option or the filters option from here. We can also right click on these input sources to perform different things. Say like changing their order or transforming them, say rotate them 90 degrees. Different operations may also be performed with the different scenes by selecting the scene, right clicking it. We can change the mode of the scene, like we can change it to grid mode. We may add a new scene, we may duplicate a scene, copy certain filters, rename it, remove it, change the order, provide some filters, and so on. We can also make changes in the audio settings by clicking on this wheel button. Go to properties and make changes in the device. We can also choose advanced properties if you want to make changes in the advanced properties. In scene transition, we can choose different styles of transition. We can also change the duration of the transition from here. So in this way, we can change the various settings and properties of the various components of the OBS UI to facilitate recording of our lectures.